Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andrew Davis. Obviously, I'm with my good friend Keenan, and we are talking about wrestling. But I do want to let everybody know that I do have these beautiful books in my possession. This is my copy. It is number 1 out of 15. No, you cannot have it. And I'm a huge My Hero Academia fan, and I have all 15 of these. And I'm going to be selling about 2 or 3 of them come next Friday around 9 o'clock on my Whatnot. If you're interested, you can hit me up, and people know where to find me, and I'll be sure to share the links. So if you want one of these, Whatnot is the place to go for those. But that's enough about me, because obviously I want to talk about wrestling, and we're going down under, aren't we?
Dude, can I just say, when it says on my screen your stream is live, I get that feeling of like when you really have to go pee. It's like stream is live now, and that should. But yeah, let's go. Let's be gross and go down under.
I was just speaking about Australia. I don't know what you were talking about.
Did you? I was talking about like when it said, because on my end, when it said like once you press we go live, it says your stream is live now, and so it makes me feel like like when you pee, you've been trying to hold it, or like, I'm just saying this is my stupidity. Whatever.
Now, luckily this show is definitely not sponsored. It doesn't have sponsors yet.
It could be, but I mean, we could something like that's a for hymns. I mean, something about your stream work. Something about. I mean, like we're looking for old people sponsors. I think like
what we're looking for is a sponsor called Healthy Male. That's who we need to reach out to.
Healthy Male. There you go. Or something. They got anything for like hair growth? I can use some hair growth. I can make my shit go really bad.
We need Old Spice as a sponsor. We need Just for Men. We need what's the thing where you color your beard? All the good stuff, right?
That is Just for Men. That's Just for Men, the gray stuff. And I you know what I'm thinking? I think I'm gonna, because every couple of years, like I've been growing this, I've been having a beard for about 5 years now. I think I'm gonna shave everything off. I might go Mr. Clean for a moment and then regrow it. Because like
we should do it.
You need to restart it. Every once in a while.
I haven't shaved like my beard in a very long time, and I definitely need to do it. But I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm going to do it. I'm just going to show up, and I'm going to pretend I still have it, and I'm going to like scratch like this, and just like feel my beard, and be like, oh, and people be like, what the hell? Because people haven't seen me shaving in probably like 8 to 9 months.
My son's never seen me with a clean face ever. I've had a beard his entire life. I started growing the beard because we got in some BS with and it sounds like such a like a bullshit facade type. Like we got in some BS with CPS, but it was literally some BS because my wife has a sister who is a prison drug addict. And so they wouldn't give my wife intravenous drugs because of that. And she's like, that woman's in prison right now. How would I like maybe you could do a Google search and see that she's in jail and I'm not, like I'm having a baby right now. What do you? So anyway, so I started growing the beard. I was like, I'm not going to shave until we get out of this thing. I'll see how bad and it's been 5 years now. No, I'm joking. It hasn't. We got out of that shit pretty quick in 6 months, dude. But you wouldn't believe some of the idiots that have issues with CPS in this life, man. You would not believe some of the dumbass kids, anyways. But let's go down under. I digress. Like I'm a Mecca over here. I digress. Let's go down under and try to enjoy. Did you watch it live?
Before we break it down,
yeah.
What did you think of the setup of the show? Because I thought the setup was awesome. I thought the setup of it being outside, because they have never done an elimination chamber outside, and I thought that was cool. I
agree. I thought the setup was cool. I thought the ground, I thought it was a little spread out. Like I don't know what kind of stadium was. Was that like a rugby stadium, or why was it so? Why didn't they have like rows by rows by rows of seating on the ground floor? Because it seemed like it was very spread out. That there were seating and then spaces, seating then spaces. And that seemed weird to me. I didn't get that.
The only reason I could think of is that Australia had a very weird reaction to COVID, more so than other countries, and they shut down. And maybe they were just concerned and they just wanted more space because they said, look, we just have a different culture down here. and
Right.
we just want to. This is the only way we feel comfortable as a country and our health system, and that could have been the reason, or there could have been another reason, or maybe it is they just said this is how we set it up, and they didn't think it through because maybe it was WWE's fault where they didn't know the exact specs, and maybe they could have fit in another bunch of people. But WWE said, we're gonna kind of play it safe because we don't want to overcrowd and overbook.
It
So
only looked weird when they if they didn't ever have if they wouldn't have shown that, I would have never noticed it if they just showed it regularly. And there was only 52,000 people, but it was, and I'm jumping ahead, but it was weird when Triple H came out and said 52,000 people. I'm like, don't you usually announce when it's like closer to 100,000? Like 52,000 people is really not in the WWE spectrum. 52,000 people isn't that many people, is it? Like that was a little bit on the short side, right?
I mean, it depends what pay-per-view it is. So if they're in a like
I
they have
heard it described as like a WWF in your house from the 90s. That's the amount of people they had in the stands there. That's how I heard it described.
I mean, I agree that I think given that they were in Australia, I think they should have packed it to 80,000 because I'm not because the worst thing they could have ever done is to have it exceed WrestleMania. That would be a very dumb decision, in my opinion, because you want WrestleMania to have one of the highest attendance. But at the same time, you're in Australia, once every 6, 7, 8 years at best? Like, don't you want to pack it so that everybody wants to go can go to that? And it should be a party because WWE does not go to Australia every year.
And
And
they aren't always completely honest with those numbers, are they? They could have packed it, like got it to close to 80,000, told us there was 80,000 there, and then tell us there's 100,000 at WrestleMania. Like I see what you're saying there, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it was weird that Triple H was like 52,000 people. Like that's not as many people as you like. That just seemed way low for any type of pay-per-view, and maybe it's because this might have been the first non-major pay-per-view that I've watched in a long time. Like most of the time, like I said, I'm a fair weather fan. Just the big
you're a big
four.
four. You're a big four, right?
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
And it's probably only because this landed in between and they have a pretty good storyline going on. But all right, let's talk because I'm about to jump ahead again. Let's talk. Let's start breaking this bitch down before I jump too far ahead. All right, so the first match was the Women's Elimination Chamber. That's what I have written down. Yeah, the first match was the Women's Elimination Chamber, and I just think I have no problem having women's wrestling, but why do you don't need two elimination chambers on the same pay-per-view? It makes it seem stupid. Like
I didn't have a problem with it.
of course you didn't have a problem with them because you like the TNA, bro. I have a problem with it because
you're right. I do like TNA. Impact was a stupid name, and they should have never went with it. I agree. In fact, Impact took that from WWE with Test and Albert.
Okay, I didn't mean that. What I meant is you like the tits and ass. That's what I meant. But what I'm saying is like it just
this is a PG fucking show, man. What the fuck's the matter with you?
This one that we're on is a PG show because I think you just fucked
PG
it up.
fucking show. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think Mecca's a little agitated. I don't know if y'all heard. Sometimes he gets a little mad. I don't. And it's this side. It's this side tonight. See this. We got to figure out like where am I in your relation to you? Because to me, you're on this side. I'm pointing at you.
I'm just picking my spots. To make it.
I'm just trying to pick.
I'm just TNA is, but continue.
Because last time when we had the three people, I was like, boom, boom. I was all fucked. I needed to make sure this time. But anyways, I just think it's like have women's wrestling, but don't double dip it. We don't need to see two eliminations chambers, two Royal Rumbles, two blah blah. And the elimination chamber is basically a low count Royal Rumble. Like I don't know. I mean, it was all right. What did you think of the women's elimination chamber, Mister? Oh, it was great. I didn't mind
I
it. It
didn't
was
like it.
perfect.
I thought the wrestling was fine, but like this is my problem is that they don't know what to do with Rhea Ripley, and now you have Becky going up against Rhea Ripley, and it's kind of like, how does this story end now? And my theory would be to keep Becky away from Rhea as much as possible, and now you're putting them right into harm's way. And I kind of thought it was. I just think it's stupid. I don't even think the wrestling's the problem. I think that they don't know what to do with Rhea. And the
Becky
belt
won, right?
what?
Becky won the.
Did win, yeah.
Okay, so Becky's gonna face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the title.
Yeah.
All right, so I get what you're saying. I would keep, but isn't Becky playing the? Isn't she basically the face and Rhea's the heel?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So I think they're gonna have Rhea Ripley beat Becky Lynch and have Becky Lynch chase after Rhea Ripley as the just like as you like kind of like Rhea Ripley's the Ric Flair and Becky Lynch is the Dusty Rhodes type of shit. You know what I mean? I think that and that's I have no problem with that. I mean that's that I like both of them, Rhea Ripley and I like that. I'm down with that. But I don't need to see two elimination chambers in one night. And it's basically a poor man and right after a Royal Rumble, like is that how they do it every fucking year? Is it Royal Rumble and then Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, that's what they do because what happens is that whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, who didn't win the Royal Rumble, he faces the secondary title.
And he makes the secondary title worth even less. Like
right,
we spoke about this last week. I hate the secondary title. Why'd we unify this shit just to create a second? Then you don't call the first one a unified title anymore. You say, "Hey, Roman, you're just."
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about women's wrestling right now and WWE. Maybe not women's wrestling personally, but WWE. Right now, what title is more important, Rhea Ripley's title or Io Sky versus Bayley or Rhea versus Becky? Because I make the argument right now, Bayley won the Royal Rumble, and right now the SmackDown's women title is the center more so than Rhea versus Becky. That doesn't mean that I'm more interested, and I think that right now the hotter title is the SmackDown Women's title than the Raw's Women's title. I really think that because they elevated it where Bayley could have chosen, and she decided to go after Io Sky's title with Damage Control, and that's the problem that WWE has is that I don't view the women's titles on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown equal right now. I don't.
To tell you the truth, I didn't watch the women's Royal Rumble. I like Bayley. When I see her, I don't like her promos. And it might not be her promos. It's that's I've never liked a woman with a square jaw. No offense to any woman. I've just never. I don't know. Women with square jaws get on my damn nerves. I don't know why. It's like a punchable face for some stupid reason. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Anti-fetish. That's what it is.
What?
It's your anti-fetish.
Probably. I don't know. But I just don't care about, and that's from a fair weather fan. I don't care about the SmackDown title at all. And maybe that's because it's not at the forefront. Maybe it'll be different during WrestleMania. Maybe I'll come at you after WrestleMania with something completely different. But at the moment, I don't care. And again, I'm a Jim Cornette mark. So I basically before we do our show, I go through and make sure just check and see like is there anything I need to catch up on to make sure I got shit to talk about? Because I watched Elimination Chamber, but I don't watch Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. If it's not a big deal, I don't hear about it.
No. I mean, I'll watch Monday Night Raw where if I watch 12 Monday Night Raws a year, that's a lot. If I watch every once in a while, I'll watch a SmackDown. You know, if I got nothing going on my Friday and I just want to chill out, I'll watch a SmackDown. But like, I don't have a desire. Like, what I really enjoy is when I get to watch NXT because I'm doing interview work most of the time during NXT. So when I don't have an interview where I take a burn week, I'm watching NXT because that's like a treat for me. That is something, especially because I don't get to watch NXT that often. And everything else is a choice for me to watch Monday Night Raw. If I wanted to watch Monday Night Raw, but also during football season, I'm watching Monday Night Football. So if I have to choose between Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football, it's Monday Night Football. And I purposely don't do interviews on Monday and Thursdays now because I want to watch football.
Right.
And during the summer, I'll be honest, if there's a baseball game and it's a hot baseball game, I'd rather watch that.
And I mean, like, real talk, a fair weather fan. I'm not spending 3 hours with commercials on a Monday night with something. I'm not spending, is it 3 hours for a SmackDown too?
It's 2. Thank
Okay.
God.
But still, I'm not spending that time. And again, NXT, like all these things, they put up the best clips. If I want to find something, there's this, I need to check this out. Because that's how I got into. I've never seen Braun. The first time I saw Braun Breaker wrestle something live was in Royal Rumble. Everything else was, I need to check out this match. Let me check this out. Let me see what's going on here. That was it. So I mean, and I did want to ask you, like, I don't even know, like, who's in charge of what show. I don't even think I know, because wasn't Bruce Pritchard was doing? Is he still in charge of SmackDown, or is?
So I don't know who's the head writer for SmackDown. I don't know who's the head writer for Raw, but I know Adam Pearce, who's the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Adam Pearce is a really, really good wrestler, and I've seen Adam Pearce wrestle on the Indies, and he is great. And then Nick Altius. I don't know how much you know about Nick. He was Magnus in Impact and then NWA.
Those are the general managers, right?
So Nick Altius, or I don't know how to say his last name, is married to Mickie James. They have a kid together. And the thing about that, why that's important, is that Nick is well-versed in wrestling. So I think Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce definitely have a say in how Monday Night Raw and SmackDown are run. And they understand wrestling, and that's really helpful. So even if they're not necessarily writing it, or they're the head writers,
aren't those figurehead role? I mean, at least from what I understand, like general managers of Raw.
They are, but in this circumstance, my understanding of WWE is Adam Pearce and Nick definitely have a say in the writer's room. So it's not just a figurehead role anymore. It is somebody who understands wrestling, and that's why the product is better finally. Because you finally put people who actually understand wrestling. And you don't have Vicky Guerrero as the GM. You don't have Paul Heyman as the GM. Actually, Paul Heyman understands wrestling really well.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you just got, like, that's one of the people they understand that.
I'm retracting my statement. After I said it, I realized that it was an error.
I digress. Just say your favorite line. I digress.
I'm trying not to use it. I'm trying to use it sparingly. But the point I'm getting at is when you look at somebody like Adam Pearce and Nick, I'm going to get his name. His name is just, I don't know how to pronounce it. So
just let it go. Nick and Adam. There we go. Just leave out Pierce's name so that way you don't. Just Nick and Adam.
So again, though, you finally have people who understand wrestling and are wrestlers in a GM role, which further gives them credibility when they're interacting with wrestlers. Because guess what? If you've been in the ring, how the hell does somebody manage Monday Night Raw who's never actually wrestled and held a belt? To me, it's just ludicrously stupid. And finally, WWE has done something smart. Finally.
I like the direct, and I don't think I technically need to know all the nuts and bolts. I don't need to see how the hamburger's made. They're doing a good job. Again, fair weather fan. I'm happy with what I've seen so far. Let's get back to the Elimination Chamber, because I do have a couple more things to say about more that coming up. I just feel like I'm going to keep going further and further. So the Women's Elimination Chamber, it was all good. Just like, why we got to double dip it? Like, why couldn't we just have like some really good, like some women's wrestling? Like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just like when you do the gimmicks twice, it just loses something. It's like, do you want to see two matches in a row of like the old school cowbell where they wrap it around your neck and shit? Like, we've got enough of that. at least in my opinion.
So let me ask you this, because I think one of my favorite pay-per-views, and they haven't done it in a while, I think, but it was Extreme Rules. Everything in Extreme Rules was every match was different. And so you had a tables match, you had a chairs match, you had a ladders match, you had a hardcore match. So you had the basic theme is that every match is not a straight match, to the point where you don't have a match where there's not a DQ component into it. So that's what I would like to see. And then the other thing that I think works is Hell in a Cell, where you have a woman's Hell in a Cell and a men's Hell in a Cell. But the reason why I think that works, though, is because you're just locking two people in a fucking cage and you're letting them fucking go at it. And to me, that's not repeating a gimmick. That's just saying these people have bad blood, and the only way to get this done is by putting them into the cage and letting them fight. To me, that gimmick works really well 2 or 3 times on a pay-per-view.
It does. I agree. Because I'm sorry, I cut you off, man. My bad.
I get your point. I think the Royal Rumble, I disagree with. I think it's good to have a women's Royal Rumble and a men's Royal Rumble. I think that makes sense because you need to set up WrestleMania. And I
could get on board with that if they only did, but it doesn't have to be every damn gimmick. Doesn't have to be men's and women's. I get a women's Royal Rumble and a men's. That's cool. I get a women's title and a men's title, WrestleMania. I get that. I get having SmackDown titles, Raw titles, blah blah blah. I get that. I get all these things. I get all those things. I just don't think that we need 2 elimination chambers. I think that's overkill. I definitely don't think that we need the elimination chamber in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. That's the elimination chamber is just a poor man's Royal Rumble. You even got the fans counting in the background, even when they couldn't get the counting down because of whatever was happening at Australia. I guess Australia is just, they can't count, I guess. I'm not for sure. No, I'm joking. It's because of the whatever was happening. I'm not against Australians. Put another shrimp on the bobby, mate. More than one shrimp. My bad. I'm gonna shut up now.
No. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was a solid match. Was it the best match? Not really. Did I think that? You convinced me slightly, but it was whatever. I had no expectations though for this pay-per-view, right? And that's the problem, is that I said, cool, this is gonna occupy my time for 2.5 hours, right? That's all it was for me.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is a holiday weekend for me. Okay.
The women's elimination chamber was long. It felt like 2.5 hours. You're right. I agree with you. It was a long ass. No, I'm joking. I'm fucking with you, man. As soon as you said that, I was like, there's a joke right there. I'm gonna pluck. Yeah, I agree. And on a whole, I feel like this pay-per-view was just a weak ass pay-per-view. I get that it's in Australia and you're showing off for your ribs. Let's keep going because I'm just gonna start talking about shit.
I mean, let's be realistic. Let's call what this was. This was a fucking placeholder. That's all this was, because they need to do a pay-per-view and they need to do 12 to 15 of them a year because they have all these deals, they have all this sponsorship money, and they don't know what to do because they know they're gonna bang it out at WrestleMania, and they just banged it out at Royal Rumble, but they need something in between. And that's what this was.
Damn, bro. You made it sound dirty. They banged it out. Like
they scrapped it out. They hammered it out. I don't know how to put it any other way.
Scrapped with hammered and banged. It sounds like they just got nailed up against the wall. Like WWE.
Okay, let me redact it.
They just taking it from those ladies in elimination chambers.
They asked Peter Gabriel to be your sledgehammer.
There you go. That was a good callback.
I think you appreciate that. I thought that was funny.
That was good. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. So what was next on? I got them way out of order. Was it Judgment Day versus the Jobbers, which was the red? Who were those English? The short, weird. What the fuck was wrong with that Shrek looking dude? Were they next, or was it? It wasn't the men's. It wasn't the promo from Grayson Waller. Well, no, that was later in the night, right?
Oh, I don't even remember half of what happened.
All
Again,
right, well,
we,
all right,
we can talk about that jobbers match. That was again a placeholder.
and
That's
that
all it
was
was.
just like, oh my god! And again, it's just reiterating to me how much is it Judgment Night or Judgment Day? Like, what's that little group called?
It's
Like
the Judgment Day,
all of
and
them together
yeah,
is the Judgment Day, and then just the two guys are Judgment Night.
it's just Judgment Day collectively, and then Damian Priest and Finn Balor are just Judgment Day, and then Rhea is Judgment Day, and it was
Rhea's all they got.
whatever.
Rhea's all they got. That just reiterated to me. I mean, oh my gosh! Like, why would you like? This is for the tag team titles. And those are some NXT guys. I get them. I get that there's some good wrestlers. I'm not taking anything. They were tiny little badass. Huh?
Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates are fantastic wrestlers.
They're fantastic, but they were some jobbers that night. I could see their wrestling. I was like, oh shit, these are actually some good wrestlers, but damn it, y'all are just some jobbers tonight. Little hobbit looking motherfucker walking down that. Him and those short little legs going down that aisle was the cutest thing I ever saw in my life. What's the short dude's name? Is that Pete Dunne or
was it the guy who had a mustache?
Yeah, it must. All I know, he was like the shorter of the two.
I love Tyler Bates. I love Tyler Bates. Tyler Bates is great.
And against the Judgment Night, those are some tall. Even Finn Balor made that dude look fucking tiny, and Finn Balor's not a big guy.
I love Finn. I love Finn.
What are those guys called? The New Catch Collective. What the hell we're in America, son?
Republic. It's like the New
Catch Republic. This is fucking. I don't care if this pay-per-view's in Australia. This is American made.
I'm sorry. I have to stop you. What are they doing? Forming a fucking new country? Like really? Are they forming a new country? Like that's what it sounds like, and it's so stupid.
Like you have to be a very smart wrestling fan to get that. I think. Like I knew that was something. I was like, that's some London, England type wrestling shit. Like whatever that's from, wherever they got that from, that's some stuff. Some fair weather dummy is never gonna know. And I'm telling you, I watched that match. I think I went and took a poop, dude. I'm not for sure what happened during that match, but I went and did something else.
We all knew how that match was gonna end. I saw the match and I'm like, alrighty, this is just. I'm just gonna chillax and not worry. I'm slightly hungover from the night before because I was definitely.
Are those dudes? Are they on Raw or SmackDown?
You know what is? I actually don't know. I think that they kind of float between SmackDown and NXT.
The Judgment, okay, but what about the Judgment Night? Are they Raw or SmackDown or the Judgment Day?
They're both.
Oh my god, this is so. As a fair weather fan, I'm so glad to not care about this shit that much. Like talking to you, it just frustrates. They're both, I think, like, oh my god, I want to punch them in their face. But it would have been badass if the New Catch Republic would have whooped that ass, and then Judgment Day would have came back like the next day or the next night and been like, no, that was some bullshit. They got one on us. We're gonna beat their asses every single time, and then maybe. Because I always look back, like there's this rap song that says like I got an impeccable record, 25-5, but for those 5 losses, every time that guy saw me, we had to fight. So I would love it if like the Judgment Day was like, nah, I'm whooping y'all's ass the next time, and then every time I see y'all, I'm beating the crap out of y'all, whether there's a title or not. That would have been a good storyline. But whatever the hell that was going on that match, I was just like. Oh man, what y'all just look like girls. Like what's going on here? There was another women's elimination chamber, and it was those 4 guys. It was those 4 guys, and I'm sorry. Say what you will, cancel me, do whatever, but those 4 guys were not good.
It's terrible. It's just terrible, but it's true. That's the problem.
And I mean, and that's the worst part is it did nothing for all four of those guys look the worst for that match. At least in my eyes. The next time I see any one of those guys doing something, I'm gonna be like, all right, I don't know what's going on here.
So on a scale to 1 to 10, how badly did WWE fuck up Judgment Day? How badly did they fuck them up?
Like storyline wise, right?
Oh no, storyline and wrestling ability and believability, right?
Just completely trashed, I think. And I mean, this is like the first time, I'm not for sure, but I think maybe the first time I saw the Judgment Day was Survivor Series. I'm not for sure, but I think the first time I saw him was in Survivor Series, and Rhea Ripley was just like, she was just on the outside. I hadn't seen her wrestle. I'd seen her wrestle before, but she wasn't in the pay-per-view that I saw. She was just like the mommy character, I believe. Like she was kind of standing on the outside, making sure they did what they were supposed to in the Survivor Series match, I think. And it looked pretty fucking cool. Then no, I just every time now they're nothing. Now they just completely destroyed their shit, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. So they
let Rhea Ripley be my mommy any day of the week.
okay,
But anyway, that's just
you just made it fucking weird, bro. You just made it weird. All right, so let's talk. All right, let's talk about did you remember the promo, the Grayson Waller, Grayson Waller, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and was it Austin Theory?
Yeah, Austin Theory was in that, without a doubt.
That was just another, like, this wasn't a pay-per-view. This was a Monday Night Raw without commercials. And I appreciate that. And whatever commercials there were, you could, since I didn't watch it live, I could just fast forward anything I didn't like. So I do appreciate that, WWE. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that promo was just stupid. And then that Australian guy just talking like he literally was waiting for them to get like, okay, but The Rock says, like, dude, shut the oh my gosh, like what's it?
I love Dustin Waller, but again, I completely get it. Dustin Waller was fantastic in NXT. But again, guy's great. Guy's a great wrestler.
He is, but this is another. I mean, literally, and I get that. So on pay-per-views, we do promos, and there's, going back to Piper's Pit, Brother Love, the love thing, whatever. I get that. Like, I don't expect, but this one was just so fucking stupid. It was just like it. I was sitting there like, okay, well, let's watch this. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. This is all right. This is what we're. And when those two dudes were talking, it was a good promo, and I was happy with it. Then the dumbass Australian dude just keep like, oh my god. So now and then this whole thing is so Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins can do their finishers on him and say, and I thought we all already knew that if Cody Rhodes needs Seth Rollins to do something for The Rock, he's down. Like I think that was already like known. I thought, and again, I know nothing. So the fact that I already knew this might be telling you something. Like you're reiterating the fact that we already know this shit, bro.
I think again, WWE doesn't know what to do with this shit. They have basically gotten out of a shitstorm with Vince. No pun intended. As soon as this Keenan vanishes into his brick wall.
I had to, because I don't want them to see my my vaporizer. That would get us more in trouble than us cussing, dude. So I bend off to the side if I need to get nicotine on. My bad. I'm always right here. I'm still listening.
You're fine. My point is that WWE has navigated out of a shitstorm, legitly, physically, and metaphorically, better than any other company that has ever done it. There's a company that has lost another $1 billion. We don't need to mention who they are. Bud Light. But WWE has basically cauterized their Vince McMahon problem. But what that has cost them is that they have shifted around Cody, The Rock, Seth Rollins, and they have moved every piece on the chessboard in such a way that it seems like we're bitching and complaining, saying, what the fuck are they doing? And this is stupid, but we're not talking about the problem anymore. So WWE is arguably the greatest PR firm that has ever existed.
But also, you have to respect the WWE fans are different than any other fans in the world. Like the support that real wrestling fans give, I literally don't. I don't care about this shit, but I still, because my grandmother on my father, like I call it my hillbilly white trash side of my family, was like every weekend we would watch wrestling, like WCW at night, WWF in the mornings and shit. Like, so it's a throwback for me. I am an old school wrestling mark, and I feel like I'm not the only one like this out there. I'm not the only one that's like, okay, well, I pay for Peacock. I'll go ahead and watch. I'll keep up with the main four. Okay, I like the documentaries on WWE on the network. So I'm not the only fair weather fan out there.
My point that I'm getting at is that I even think people who are fair weather fans of this understand what WWE has done. And you have to give credit where credit is due. Without a doubt, if companies that navigate through PR disasters and do it the way WWE has done it, those are amazing companies. Because I don't know when was the last time a company ever dealt with something like this that WWE dealt with, and they have done an amazing switch where they have legitimately changed the narrative, and they have given a half shitty product and a half great product, and that's the spin they have given it. And boy, that was a brilliant gamble by WWE. And while this was going on, they signed a $5.5 billion Netflix deal. You gotta give respect to this company. You gotta give it.
I do, but I think that the fans of wrestling are just different, and I do give them respect. They switched it up, but I think because no matter what came out with this Vince McMahon, if they would have done, I still would have watched WrestleMania. They've done a great job. I agree with you. I'm not taking anything away. They've done a great job. I'm sold on this Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns shit. I'm even down for The Rock, Seth Rollins. I'm not for all this shit. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to see what they're gonna like, because again, they're pivoting, they're moving, they're jucking and jiving. I like it. I like all this shit, but I do think that they have an easier way to go because fans of wrestling, are much more forgiving in the end. Like, you're gonna like wrestling no matter what comes out of this Vince McMahon shit. A lot of wrestling fans are gonna be wrestling fans no matter what. Even if, and we knew Vince, I mean, I don't know. It came out the right time too, because I think we already and Vince McMahon came out with that fucking dye job that he had. Like, we were all just ready to be like, what?
The Gomez Adam look?
Yeah. Like, everybody was just like, okay, great. Let's push Vince aside. Perfect. Because we were thinking, bro, what the hell are you doing, man? Goodbye, dude. We already thought of that, and then now that you just made it easier. So I get what you're saying. I just think that WWE fans, wrestling fans, are much more forgiving than regular fans, because you're gonna, just like Playboy, you're gonna buy that Playboy no matter what. If you're truly a Playboy, you know what I mean? Like, that Playboy's still gonna get sent to your door no matter what. You're still gonna open that up. Those pages are still gonna get sticky, Mecca. I'm talking to you, bro.
True. That is true.
That China Playboy, like the retouch job on that China Playboy was beautiful, because it was just beautiful. My bad. I digress.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I have no comment, but
Once you say I digress, I feel like that gets you out of it. Just like you say, no offense, though. No offense, though, Mecca. All right, so let's talk the men's elimination chamber. My favorite part of the men's elimination chamber was Randy Orton. Like, I legit was thinking, like, why the fuck have they not? Why hasn't Randy Orton already been pinned? That dude is in pain. Get him out of the middle of the ring. But no, he's smart because he's old as shit and knows, like, I'm not going to get my ass whooped on this. No, I'm going to lay there and act like I'm in pain and only jump up when I'm needed. And every time he jumped up, I was like, oh shit, look, the Viper, motherfucker. The Viper. Yeah. And I'm like, he's hurt. Like, I was sold. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, wait, no. He wasn't like, something might have happened. Like, he might have hurt his back. But no, the entire time he's like, man, I'm just going to get hurt and just, this is not going to be the entire match.
And out of nowhere, RKO. Out of nowhere, RKO. Out of nowhere, RKO.
And I do got to give it to him because literally during the men's elimination chamber, I'm like, is every motherfucker going to get hurt? Is there going to be a man in this match that doesn't get hurt? But also, it does accentuate the hanging off to the side. I hate that. Like, we got to figure, like, I don't care if you're play punch. I don't care if you're pretending to be in a submission hold. But this acting like you're asleep or fucking half knocked out, why isn't somebody pinning you at this point? What's going on here, guys?
Oh, my God. So all I know is that I really, really, really enjoyed Logan Paul in that match.
I liked him making fun. Where'd he get that marker from? I liked him drawing Kevin Owens' picture as the fat Weeble Wobble. That was kind of brilliant. I'll give that.
That was funny. But this is the whole thing. Logan Paul. I didn't know that. I thought Logan Paul was older. He's 29.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 31, and I'm like, motherfucking A, this guy is worth a lot of money, and he doesn't have to do this shit at all. And freaking Christ, for lack of a better word here, like, he's in all these big matches, and the guy fucking produces.
He's good, and that's what I hate. Like, when he first came out, I almost looked at him like I would Bad Bunny. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't know what that. And then I think maybe the first time I saw him, I would think SummerSlam, or maybe it was maybe it was WrestleMania. I just saw him in a match real quick. I was like, okay, this is a gimmick shit. And then he kept popping up. I was like, how come he keeps, okay, he's getting better, you know, like, and then Survivor Series.
Making all that much money from WWE. He's making about $5 million. That's not a lot of money, all things considered.
He doesn't need it. He, like you said, I think he actually likes it.
So I have a different theory. I don't think Logan Paul is in WWE for the money. I think Logan Paul, by being in WWE, you know, obviously $5 million, it probably, that contract was negotiated, and it probably helps him because, you know, Logan Paul obviously runs an extensive business network. And that $5 million probably gives him a lot of liquidity, just on a business level, I would imagine. You know, as somebody who runs a business, you know, liquidity matters. But I'm not going to go too deep into that. But what I think it does for him is when he's on TV or he's on Netflix or he's on Peacock or on a pay-per-view, his brand increases. So if he's around and he's associated with WWE and his brand is naturally increasing, what's going to eventually happen is that his net worth, where he's going to be a billionaire soon enough, be worth $1 billion.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can totally see that. I mean, he doesn't, and I agree with you. Whenever I have nothing more to say about that. Like, I give that to you.
Also,
you win, Mecca. You win.
With Logan Paul, and I don't know if you saw it, he's obviously interviewed Triple H. He's interviewed John Cena. He's interviewed Randy Orton. I'm sure at some point there's going to be other people he's going to be interviewing. And you know what it is? There is a position with Logan Paul where, you know, he is now, because of he's a wrestler in WWE, he's getting access to a lot of their talent on his show, Impulsive. And when that happens, guess what? that also opens up doors. So Logan Paul understands that his 5 million is not the value. His partnership and his talent and him wrestling WWE is worth way more than that for both parties.
How long do you think? Because I know him and The Rock have semi beef at the moment because Logan Paul said something to piss off The Rock. How long do you think? And we don't have to get into whatever happened, but how long do you think The Rock is talking to Logan Paul on his channel?
I think what's going to happen is that they're going to have a conversation, and hopefully they'll have that conversation at WrestleMania privately. Because for those who don't know, what happened is that, and I have no problem stating it, even though it's a sensitive topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Logan Paul did the whole thing in Japan that was very sensitive on a very sensitive issue, and I don't want to mention it because I don't want to upset people. But it was a very controversial position, and if you don't know what it is, and for those who don't know, The Rock's mother definitely is subjected to that sensitive.
You should have just went with you're having to dance around this shit so well. Like you should have just went with like we don't need to talk about it. You're doing great.
No, because I mean you understand that if you mention certain things, you get deranked.
I know, that's what I'm saying. No, and that's what you're like.
So Logan Paul and The Rock have not spoken, and The Rock was very upset. I think what needs to happen is that Logan Paul and The Rock need to have a real conversation, and the conversation should begin like this. I'm sorry I was immature.
They're gonna have that conversation. I'm just saying that like we both know they're gonna. I think it's already foregone conclusion. The Rock is down. Logan Paul is up. They're both part of the same company right now. If The Rock can get a little bit of a rub from Logan Paul and get back into everybody's good graces, that's what The Rock wants. That's the only reason he's back in WWE right now. You think if The Rock had like a string of huge movie success right now that we'd even see The Rock coming back at all? He could give two fucks about the bloodline. Which, again, none of the bloodline showed up for Australia, which is very... Like, I'd be kind of upset if I was in Australia. Like, we don't get any of the bloodline. Like, nothing.
We don't even get Jey Uso. What the fuck? We don't even get
that. Would have been a good middle road match. Put the Usos out there. Put Jey against the other one. I don't know the other one's name. I forget his name. Put the Usos against each other. That'd be a good little.
Jey and Jimmy.
Yeah, Jey and Jimmy, and you don't even need a winner. Have it end off somebody getting disqualified or getting bashed in the head. How about we do a match with a DQ?
I got this.
Somebody gets disqualified. That'd be a swerve. Somebody gets disqualified from the match. That's crazy. That's crazy.
This is what I think they should have done. They should have had the Usos go at it, right? And then that would have set up WrestleMania, and you do a straight match, and they're just brawling the shit out of each other. You continue the Royal Rumble position, right? So you continue that, and then you build the story, and then you shoe line it into WrestleMania, and you have a no DQ between them at WrestleMania. This way, because what happened that they're just brawling all over that stadium, and they just say, we're going to fight. And then security has to come out and separate the two of them, and then you've now built up where you got the Royal Rumble issue. You got what happened in Elimination Chamber. You got 4 weeks to Mania. You get a no disqualification match between Jimmy and Jey. And there you go.
What is, because I mean, I know that Jey went his separate ways, and I know all that, but then has Jimmy and Jey not had any kind of beef? Like, yo, dude, why aren't you a part of the bloodline? You know what I mean? Like, they're twin brothers. Like, why wouldn't you?
I think what it is that I think they wanted to each have their own individual careers. Obviously, there's no personal beef. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the issue becomes is that no personal beef between the two of them. What there is that I think they wanted to say, look, we've done everything as a tag team. You can make an argument that they are in the top 5 tag teams in WWE history. You know, obviously you have a few other people. You know, You got the Dudley Boys, you got Edge and Christian, you got the Hardy Boys. You know, you can make an argument the New Day, obviously the Usos have been around forever.
Well,
So
my bad. Did the Usos? I know. Have they done the breakup and we don't like each other and fight like that's what a tag team does?
sort of. It kind of happened where like I forget if it was Jimmy or Jay said, "Yeah, you're right. I screwed you because I wanted to protect you," type of thing, and that's what happened. And
That's not close. See, this would be the perfect time. Like, and I get it. They want to do their own thing, but every tag team, like, you split, you get a little beef, and maybe it doesn't have to happen right away. But why wouldn't like him go and be like, "All right, man, you've done your own shit. Like, come back to the bloodline, bro. What are you doing? Like, okay, you left, but what have you done since you left us? Nothing. Come back." And like your twin brother pushes the shit out of you and maybe hit you in the face. Like, not even like,
I think this is what I think needs to happen, right?
yeah.
I think they need to have, again, they should have had a match on Elimination Chamber. Should have ended it in a no disqualification or a no bout, or they just both got counted out. Would have set up a DQ at WrestleMania. Then they go their separate ways on their paths, and then somehow, somewhere, one of them saves the other, and they reunite after 2 or 3 years, and it would have been a big pop. And all of a sudden, one of them's gone for 3 months, just not on TV, and they come out randomly, and then all of a sudden, they're back now as family, as the bloodline fades out and the Usos get restored. That would have been great. That would have been great because the problem here is that WWE is really, really shitty at lowering and raising wrestlers and getting them into different tracks. And it's kind of like a car shifting gears. WWE sometimes does it really well, and they do it really shitty too. And it's a skill. It's a skill. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. All right, real quick, before we get too far off the Elimination Chamber, what did you think about all the, like, AJ Styles? Like, how, like, it felt like, oh, and like, the referees, like, they can't stop AJ Styles. Like, bitch, like, what is the point of having, like, what's going on here, guys? Like,
I don't know.
Dude,
Again, AJ Styles is just cashing his checks.
I get it, but what the hell was that? Like, how did he? Oh, nobody noticed that AJ. And then what? Logan Paul was like hanging out and jumped back in. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like, it was like I get it was like Kane coming and interrupting the Hell in the Cell, but Kane is the big fucking monster. He ripped the door off the Hell in the Cell. You had AJ Styles creep up in there and nobody notices that shit. Like, I feel like, again, like, between the women's elimination chamber and whatever the hell was going on with the other thing, you took everything away. It had nothing. You took everything away. The only saving grace was Randy Orton selling the shit out of that back, and I can't tell you, I felt like the complete dumbass when I'm like, why are they pinning Randy Orton? The man's hurt. He's in the middle of the ring, hurt. Pin him and get him out of there. Oh shit, RKO. The Viper, bro. The Viper. Dumbass. I am such the dumbass. I felt that was the saving grace of the entire pay-per-view for me, was they had me sold. They had me sold on Randy Orton being hurt when every other guy is getting thrown through these fucking glass unbreakable shields and stuff. Like, again, like, how many times has a person been thrown? How many times in the same match are they throwing dudes through that? I thought unbreakable glass.
Randy Orton,
huh?
Are you criticizing Randy Orton?
No, I'm criticizing everybody else. I mean,
you know he's coming on my show, right? No, he's not. That'd be really messed up.
If he's coming on your show, can I just fly out there and like watch? I don't need to stream it, or like, can I just be off in the corner just watching that shit? Like,
imagine if I said the following. By the way, you scheduled to come on next week.
But, I know I could just watch it on your channel, but can I just be like in somewhere, like just a box? You could just mute me the entire time. But yeah, don't worry about this old guy in the corner, bro.
I would love nothing more than to interview celebrities in my like house and have like a studio, because I'm building a studio eventually when I move. And I'm gonna build it, and I would love it. And then I would love to have like a spectator section and like sell tickets. It'd be so dope if you have a celebrity in your house, and then what I would do is I would have a wall, and I would make all the people I interview sign the wall. It'd be great. It'd be the coolest fucking thing.
Okay, Carson Mecca Davis Daily, what the fuck? Like TRL, I'm gonna have a special section for people screaming out fans and stuff. Motherfucker, fuck you.
No,
I'm messing with you, Mecca. I'm messing with you.
I just want people to sign a wall, so it's like the ultimate wall. It'd be
It would
dope.
be pretty cool. It would be cool just to take like, and you can just put up look who and take pictures of them signing the wall and shit, and then boom, there you go. Like,
no, I think it'd be a dope backdrop. That's all I'm saying is that I think it'd be a cool thing. Is like because if all of a sudden you have like some like the best people in the world, like it's a cool thing. And you know what is that?
What I'm saying is like on your Instagram, you could, you pick out special things to do. Like, okay, this is gonna be a behind the scenes Instagram quick little video of them signing the wall and me asking, all right, so what are you signing there with? You know what I'm saying? Just some specific Mecca. It's like you shoot me down with everything I fucking say, bro.
Oh, trust me. My private conversations with people. Oh my fucking god.
I don't even want to hear that shit.
Know the amount of shit that I know about so many industries now, and I'll just say because I don't really give a shit anymore. The amount of private conversations that I've had with porn stars is amazing. It's amazing, and that's the shit that you put on Patreon if those people are down for it. And oh my god, people would pay a fortune. I put that at like $100 a tier. Oh my god, people want to know who's fucking who. It's amazing.
Dudes are so, and we are the lowest common denominator. Like that's one of my jokes. Because back in the day, especially in Texas, like my mom was a single mom and a working woman, so she go to happy hour with her friends and she have to drag her son along. Here you go, son. You order some food. I'm gonna talk with my friends right over. She's having happy hour. I don't know if you know this, Mecca, but men, we ain't shit, bro. We don't take care of anything. We don't take care of kids. We don't pay any bills. We don't clean. We don't cook. From what I understand for those happy hours, men ain't shit. Like I had no chance of being a homosexual ever because from what I know, men ain't shit. Why would you get with a dude? Because they ain't gonna help you at all. They're not gonna be there for you. That's all I know from my time at happy hours with women. So Randy Orton won. Who won Randy Orton won the Elimination Chamber, right?
No, Drew McIntyre won it.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, and that's how forgettable it is. Like I don't
even care. Elimination Chamber. I want to know more about your upbringing now. I am so curious because obviously I've had very, very positive men role models, and it's so interesting. Like,
I've had the worst, not the worst, but like my mom was a single mom, and she worked in office with all women. And so, like, I'm serious. Like, men ain't shit, dude. We are not shit. Never. We just don't. Yeah, no, we are not shit. And like, this is how. Like, my father is named Robert. I have two brothers named Robert. Who the fuck are you? Are you George Foreman, bro? This is the dude that my mama picked. Like that wasn't a red flag. He's got two other kids named Robert. Thank God I'm not named Robert, bro. Like there'd be three of us there'd be four Roberts. What the hell, man? No, men ain't shit. Like, I'm sure that some of them are probably good guys. Maybe my mom just worked with a bunch of women that pick crappy dudes. I'm not for sure. I could have had the same choice in men. I don't know. All I know is men ain't shit. Why even waste your time, Mecca? I'm just looking at you. I could complain about you a lot. I'm joking.
I'm doing just fine. And trust me, I'm supposed to be hopefully on a show in the next 2 months. And it's going to be a very interesting discussion about relationships with a bunch of women. And it's a bunch of women who are session wrestlers. And it's going to be fascinating because it's like, I'm going to be like, yo, ask me anything you want to ask me about relationships. Because all these session wrestlers have a hard time finding guys they want to be with. And my answer is very simple. And I'll say it right here, and I'm going to get flack for it. It's, what do you want? Do you A, want to be in a relationship? And B, what are your standards? Are you looking for a guy who has muscles that are bigger than anything you've ever seen? And are you looking for a guy who's jacked fit, who's gonna want to have kids with you, care for your kids, be there and everything? Because I would like to meet that man too. I would absolutely like to meet that man too, because that man doesn't exist. And there you go. So again,
I would suck that dude's dick. I'm joking.
yeah, you would. And the reason why you say that is because you know it doesn't exist.
I go down like a seal, bro. No, I'm joking.
But it's going to be a fascinating conversation if it ever occurs, because and I've had, I mean, for those who don't know, I ask when I interview porn stars, I actually ask them their opinion about masculinity, because you'd be surprised. A lot of these women have say, what do you mean masculinity is dead? I'm out there fucking killing something every day and I'm trying to bring it home. Some days I do better than others, but I run a business on the side. I work my 40-hour work week, and all these women are like, yo, there are no good men left in the world. And I'm like, hello, honey, I'm here.
You're missing everything. You're missing me, damn it. Let me get in your face. But I think, and I don't know what these session wrestlers look like, but no dude, and I don't think looks have anything to do with it. No dude wants to be with a woman that's funnier than him. No dude wants to be with a woman that can like beat his ass. You know, these are okay, weirdo. Like I know what you're thinking. Like, oh yeah, I do like to get kind of roughed up. I wouldn't mind being spanked, but for the most part, most dudes aren't down with that. Like,
no. What it comes down for me is that there are a core set of values that matter to me. And also, I'm looking to have kids. And some of these people don't want children. And that's definitely a deal breaker for me. And it sounds weird, but like it comes down to values more so than anything else.
and wrestlers, like you're talking to wrestlers, right? So, I mean, they're at least at this time, I bet you they can't see having kids because their careers in wrestling, like they can't, that stops your path for 9 months.
Stops it more than 9 months. Stops it for almost a year and a half.
Okay, but I'm saying you won't be able to wrestle at least for for a year and a half, whatever. Okay, Mecca done all his research on ladies wrestling while being pregnant.
Carmella just had a kid. Alexa Bliss just had a kid. Becky Lynch had a kid, and she was out for like a year and a half. Like this isn't out of nowhere. This is relative. That it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear how long a woman is out. But then again, you know what is? I think it's great that wrestlers have children. I think it's fantastic.
Except for the women. No, I'm joking. That's just a joke, guys. I was just joking. Don't cancel Mecca because of my dumbass jokes.
Okay, it's okay. Let me explain. People have tried to cancel me and they fail because they forget the golden rule. With my enemies constantly forget the golden rule. If you're gonna come for me, you have to kill me. You have to legitly take me out, because they forget that you have to go that additional step. And there's a reason why I don't attack back, because when I attack back, and I'm very honest about this, is I go in for the kill. I don't play nicely. I'm not interested when I am on a power rage, for lack of a better word. And if you cross certain lines, I will go all the way the distance. And
I like, oh my gosh, bro, you're like so angry inside, man. No, I'm fucking with you, Mecca. So let's talk about Rhea Ripley versus Haystacks Calhoun.
Yes. Let's talk about her. I
liked Haystacks Calhoun. I've never seen him look better in my life, bro. Like Haystacks Calhoun look kind of look good. He looked good. He looked fit. He looked trim. He looked good. And I'm just like, I'm not body shaming Jax. Is her name Nia Jax or just Jax?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, whatever. It was like, I understand that Rhea Ripley's like a big woman and she's a tough broad, and you needed someone just to throw out again. You needed a Haystacks Calhoun, I guess, because I mean it was the slowest freaking match Rhea could get nothing done. She had to slow her stuff down so much.
I love Nia. I love Nia. I would love to interview Nia Jax. That'd be fun.
I'm
She's
not
great.
I'm not saying I'm not saying anything against her. Like I guess I've seen her in other stuff, and her and Rhea Ripley were they just didn't go well together. They weren't the right dance partners. I don't know. What did you think of it? Like,
Honestly, it was Rhea's moment in Australia. She's the home girl. This is her moment. We all know she's going to Mania.
I mean, we all know that, but I just don't think that no matter what, we all knew what the outcome was. I just don't think Nia. I just don't think she was the right dance partner for Rhea. Rhea's a tall, fast woman. She's younger. Nia's older, heavier girl. Like,
I'll tell you, Nia Jax's perfect partner in a wrestling match is Alexa Bliss. They had a match at WrestleMania, and it was a great match because you have this small girl against this big woman, and the styles just work. The Alexa Bliss has a particular style in wrestling. Nia Jax has a particular style, and those styles clash, and styles make fights. And that's the problem with Rhea versus Nia, is that the Rhea is a contender against Nia, even though Rhea is not as big. Rhea's jacked and she's fierce, and they also have very much a similar style, and that's the problem with that match. And not to get
Alexa
too
and Rhea would be good at the same time. Like you saying, Nia and Alexa were good. Rhea and Alexa would be great because their styles, they're good dance partners. And I'm not taking anything like their matches where Nia would be great at. She would have been good at. Why didn't you switch somebody out? But they needed a big beast to go and try to be a contender against Rhea until, just a placeholder. And you're going to Australia. You knew what was going to happen, but I think they could have picked. And again, like, we're talking about all these things. Like, we know that this is, I mean,
we understand that Elimination Chamber was to set up the components that weren't developed at the Royal Rumble. That's all Elimination Chamber was meant for. And we had 4 weeks. So from the end of the Royal Rumble, you have about 8 weeks and a pay-per-view to set up Mania. And this is just story, right? So as a comic book fan, if you have a 6-issue arc, you have to set up the ending in issues 5 and 6. So you introduce the characters in issue 1. You start developing the problem in issue 2. It kind of ends a little bit funky. And in issues 3 and 4, you start setting up the finale. And then 5, you finalize the finale. And then 6, you get the big bang punch. And that's exactly what Elimination Chamber did, is that it's getting to the finale of WrestleMania, because these 12 weeks from January 1st to WrestleMania is a arc in a story. And that's all Elimination Chamber was, is that it just gets us there in a particular way so that we get a pivot and we can make a left turn. That's all it was.
I'm sorry, somebody was calling me out for looking like Santa Claus in one of our comments. My bad. Fucking dicks. I think
I don't know what this comment is, but I think it's funny.
I
think it's funny.
I think that's fine. I have no dude. Ho ho ho, motherfuckers.
It's Ohio. You.
Yeah, it's.
Hey, I think it's funny, man. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. That's hilarious. But I think one of the things that wrestling is missing, is I get your story arc, and I agree. And there's always going to be improvisation and some improv and shit. But at least back in the day, they would start working backwards from WrestleMania and have a whole plan, like for the entire year. And yeah, they do some improv. I think at least for the last couple of years, especially why they were figuring stuff out and while Vince has been out, I don't think they've had a steady plan. And this was something out of the ordinary, this whole Rock Cody thing. But I think if they would have planned it out better, the Rock Cody thing would have worked. or The Rock Roman Reigns. Like all that shit could have worked, but they didn't think it out enough. Like Cody just telling us all, no. Are we still getting what we? You know what? Did he just do one of our this guy just commented like some Chinese characters at us? Like
I don't know. I don't know what it says. So I don't want to put it up.
We can't even read your regular shit, bro, and you're gonna come at us with that? Like
I don't know what it says, so I'm a little concerned. Like it could be like a curse, and it could be cursing me if I put it up. And like I don't want to like for my fans in China or Japan, I don't want to offend you if it's an insult. Like
if it's a curse, it's about you. I know that for sure. If it's just
something regular, I'm okay with it, but that's not the point here. It's like I can't in good faith do something, right?
What if he's just like calling me like Santa Claus or something, like Chinese characters or some shit?
It'd be pretty funny. I would laugh pretty hard.
Yeah.
I would laugh pretty hard.
I had the thought I want to get like a really wrong Chinese character somewhere like visible.
This is what I think of you. This is what I think of you, Keenan.
That's okay.
I have a Santa Claus leaf metal card.
Not cool, man. Not cool. Like these, I don't appreciate this. Like I feel very hurt by all this.
Would it make you feel better if I sent you one?
No, I don't want any of your charity, bro.
I was just being polite. And nice.
No, I'm fucking. I'll take anything. Yeah, dude, send it my way. We'll take it any way we can get it. Shit.
It's a great card. It's like so I paid like $17.50 for it. They're usually $20, but you get a little bit of a discount, and it's paying homage to all the product they developed in the year. It's a great card. It's a great card. That's actually pretty cool. So I'm curious. I don't know how to say your name, man. So I don't want to say anything insulting. But can you confirm? Are those Chinese characteristics, or is it Japanese? We want Cody in Japanese or Chinese? Because I'm curious now about the comment. Because that's cool. Because I'm definitely gonna steal it.
Cool. But how he could tell us anything? How would we know? They could be saying anything. Like, they could tell you, yeah, that really means that, and you could be saying some bad shit, dude. Like
I cannot speak at all simple Chinese. I don't know anything about this. I am not even going to attempt. I can't read Mandarin. I am not John Cena. I can assure you that.
That was the question. Can you speak simple Chinese? Like,
yes,
I know I see it, but it's like, who the fuck do you think you're talking? You can't speak simple Chinese, dummy? Like,
I'm sorry.
Like we look like what? It's like me saying him like, you don't understand like really, bro? Like I can't even think like you don't understand simple Klingon. It's just simple Klingon.
Yeah, I do understand simple Klingon. Who are you?
I would guess that. I would totally have guessed that he would like if I like rock knock to fuck neck. I don't even. That's just my best impression of what some Klingon would. Is that anywhere?
Have you ever?
I just said F your mother in Klingon.
Let me explain. Have you ever had to negotiate a treaty with an intergalactic species that could potentially save the world? Of course not. I do this all the time. This is what I do. You know.
We would not. If we're the only hopes for man, could you imagine if it was just me and you going to save the world? Like we were on instead of Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, it was me and Mecca on the spaceship trying to save the world with an Atari.
The A team. The A team is here, right? Here's the A team. Who's your A team? You and me are on the A team. Who else is going to join us? Obviously, we're going to have John Cena with us. Because God forbid, if we have to
we're completely whitewashing the 18. So who's
no, we're not rewatching the 18 here.
I said whitewashing because you said John Cena. So I'm saying me, you, and John Cena. There's only room for one more. So who's gonna be your fourth? Because this is gonna completely Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
It's gonna be us three and Kevin Hart. Like that is so white. Like we just got canceled. Like the movie,
everybody.
It's gonna make less money than the movie with Liam Neeson and shit, which I was actually a fan of. When people you never saw the 18 movie with Liam Neeson and that UFC dude?
What the fuck? Liam Neeson was on the A-Team? What the shit?
You never saw the Liam Neeson, what's his name from The Hangover, the pretty guy from The Hangover. And
Bradley Cooper?
yeah, Bradley Cooper. Yeah, Bradley Cooper was the pretty dude. And then I can't think of the I want to say he was UFC champion, the badass dude. He's the one that played Mr. T. I can't think of his name. Hold on.
It's not Alex Pereira. I could tell you that.
No, Mr. T A-Team.
It's not Anderson Silva, right?
No. They.
Cain Velasquez, maybe?
No. It's a black dude. What the hell is his name? So they didn't. Oh,
it wouldn't be Kimbo Slice, because Kimbo Slice.
No, Kimbo Slice. No, that would have been a good one. Damn it, Kimbo Slice.
I know. Kimbo Slice.
That's not him. Damn it, where the fuck? Stupid.
I want to see this movie now. I am so intrigued now.
I can't believe you never seen the A-Team 2000s. Bradley Cooper, Liam Neeson. No, it's bringing up every. Okay, I'm over. Liam, what? Rashid Wallace?
It might have been.
No, it wasn't. It was like.
So this is the. So clearly we are in the wrong podcast, because the podcast that we should do is, let's figure out the most ridiculous movie we could possibly make every week. That's what we should do.
All right. So you know what movie I would want to do? Brewster's Millions wouldn't be a bad one to redo. That could be like, but I'd want to do it.
Redoing. I'm talking about creating an original idea. And the whole point of the podcast would be to come with the most ridiculous, potential, and most offensive idea you could possibly think of without crossing a line. And
so we're just going to be silent? So you're supposed to come up with the most ridiculous, offensive idea without crossing a line?
And we're going to storyboard it. So I will get a whiteboard, right?
A little person. It has to be 90s set with a little person. Somebody that's on the spectrum, but you don't call it that because we don't care about that shit back in the 90s. And somebody that's restarted. And you know what I meant, like, I'm not saying the word, but that's what I'm saying. That would be that's where you go, right? Oh, and maybe a trans person before it's cool, like just a person in drag. That'd be and that's another, like, I just want to bring it up, like, whatever happened, like a dude in a dress, that, like, we wouldn't have a RuPaul today if this. I'm just saying, like,
I love my RuPaul.
Yeah, whatever just happened being cool with a dude wearing a dress, like, I have no problem with that. Like, I am down.
Didn't we have a former secretary who stole luggage and stole an amazing dress from, like, this woman at the airport, and then he wore it and rocked it?
I don't know that. I can't confirm or deny that report. Are you talking about me?
No, I'm not talking about you.
I know. It was a joke.
It was somebody in the Biden administration, and apparently the person liked wearing dresses. I think they are technically born a male. I don't know how they identify, and I'm not going to go down that path. But they stole luggage, and then they rocked the luggage they stole, and they stole, like, expensive dresses from the airport and then rocked those dresses. And, like, it's crazy. It's amazing.
Too much, man. Like, I mean, it's in that. I don't know. And then we have to have a very, like, you remember in the 90s how like obvious, like, you just can't have like a regular homosexual dude. You have to have a very obvious homosexual man and a very butch female, like that. Very stereotypical lesbian and homosexual. And this is, I'm thinking Friends, dude. I'm thinking, like, I know you said something original, but we could make an original tie, like Friends, but just kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Who would the actors be? Oh, we could RuPaul. Like, we said the name. RuPaul, or what's that English comedian, Eddie Izzard, the guy that'd be great. Eddie. Do you know who Eddie Izzard is?
I know who Eddie is. I know who Eddie is.
Okay, well, you didn't know. You hadn't seen the A-Team movie from the 2000s, so now I have to ask these questions.
I didn't know Liam Nelson.
How did you not know? I mean, it's like the best, worst movie ever. I'm telling you, this is what the podcast needs to be next week. Because there's nothing's gonna happen. If anything happens between now and next week in wrestling, we'll talk about that. But nothing's gonna fucking happen. I promise.
What are we gonna talk about next week? What are we gonna talk about?
The A-Team, because you're gonna watch the movie this week, and we're gonna talk about the A-Team movie next week. Because nothing's gonna happen this week. You're gonna come at me next week about some wrestling shit. I'm like, dude, nothing happened. Like, all I have new this week in wrestling is the Braun Breaker's debut match.
Let me explain what's gonna happen next week. I'm gonna be like, guys, nothing happened in wrestling this week. We're talking about the A-Team, and oh my god, what a fucking great movie!
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's such a good. Oh, Jessica Biel's in it. Jessica Biel is in it.
The last time I saw her, so the last movie I saw her in was I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
I think this was the last film she was in. I don't think she's been in any other movies since then. I don't think.
Is Jessica Biel married to Justin Timberlake?
Yes, and I was just thinking he would have made a better A-Team face than Bradley Cooper. Could you imagine Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel in the A-Team movie? Holy shit, bro. Like my mind's. I'm telling you, next week this is a whole conversation. The A-Team, never seen. I can't wait to talk to you about this shit. I'm excited to talk to you about this shit because it's.
I'm down for it. I am totally down for this.
It's gonna because nothing. And if something happens this week in wrestling, I'm gonna be very surprised. If anything happens at all this week, because literally, the only thing that's happened this week since Elimination Chamber was, at least for me, Braun Breaker's debut match, and I only know that because Jim Cornette talked about it.
The only other thing that's going on in wrestling is Sting's retirement match. But again,
how many times is didn't he get hurt in his one and only WrestleMania match?
I don't even give a fuck.
And we've seen their last matches so many times. Like Sting,
he's at 3. He's had 3 matches in WWE. That's it. He had a WrestleMania match, he had a match with John Cena, and he had a match with Seth Rollins. That's it.
I'm 41 years old, so Sting must be fucking 85, dude. Like, there's like how the hell is he even like he is? And Ric Flair too. Like, you got to give it to these guys. Like, the fact that you're even trying, like, there's no way. Like, how are you not making off of a podcast? Like, how are you not making enough money off this shit? I just don't get it. And look, man, when I'm here alone, you just can't leave me here by myself. Because then...
Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta...
No, you're good. Do. Oh. Can you speak simple Chinese? We want Cody. We want Cody. Ni hao, everybody. Ow, who y'all goes out masu? I suck. Can you speak simple Chinese? I can't speak simple English, bro. Do. Well, I was just explaining that I can't even speak simple English. So the fact that you think
I can barely function. All I know is that we're gonna watch the A-Team now. Totally gonna watch. This is gonna be so much fun. Liam Nelson, the A-Team. I didn't even know this thing existed.
Hold on, I'll find out where you can stream it for free real quick. I don't want you to have any excuses.
I'll go pay for it. It'll be well worth the $4.
No, fuck. There's got to be I know you'll pay for it. Shit, bro, but you're already in the hole for $700, bro.
I'm fine. I'm already out of it. It's not.
I know you are, man. Yeah, you got to pay for. I mean, it's not playing for free anywhere at the moment.
Oh, man, it's gonna be so much fun.
But I'm telling you, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good thing. All right, man. Well, I guess we're good. I mean, we're only gonna get ourselves in trouble more.
Again. Go back to this. I have
Yeah.
been tried to been canceled, and they keep failing. It is very hard when people don't want to cross the line to fully cancel you. They've tried. I've been attacked, and I am very open about this. And again, they haven't crossed the line because they can't. And that's it. And I don't mean to
Well,
encourage anybody, but that's
yeah,
all.
no, I feel like you just encouraged everybody's gonna come at you with guns blazing, bro. But in this day and age, like, what are they gonna hurt? You know what I mean, dude? Like, you can't be canceled if you're doing everything yourself. Like, it's just like they can't stop you from running your YouTube shit. They can't stop you from live streaming. Like, there's nothing to, no offense.
In fact, every time I'm attacked, my stock goes up because there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Is
There's
that why
no,
this guy was asking if you could even speak simple Chinese? Like, hey, dummy, you can't even speak. Was that your fault, dude? Are you the reason why? No, I'm playing with you, dude. I'm playing with you.
But anyway, how would you rank Elimination Chamber?
On pay-per-view as a whole.
So letter wise, F being the worst, D, C.
I mean, it was a
You could have pluses or minuses in there too.
it was if I'm okay, D plus. I mean, yeah, I'm being honest, D plus. It was a D plus product. If it wasn't the one, if I wasn't interested in this Cody Rock thing and all that shit, I would not have watched it.
Yeah, see, I gave it a C minus. I'm a little bit more generous. I gave it a C minus. Reason why is that I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was the best thing they've ever put, but I didn't think it was horrible. I thought it was a C minus.
It wasn't horrible, but when you have as many eyes as you have watching right now, like, why wouldn't you put out the best product you have at the moment? Like, don't put out any jobbers at all. Like, it should be all big name talent. Like, every one of these matches should have been, whether it's in Australia, whether would have been like, hey guys, we need everybody, we need the best we got at the moment because we need it. Like, I mean, Cody said, I'm open to anything, Rock. Like, I'm open at all times. Like, why didn't you just go ahead and fight them? It was okay. Holy shit!
What?
It looks like it says we had 11,000 people in my live on TikTok.
Oh wow!
Oh shit! Yeah, we had yeah, but they were all just coming through real quickly, bro. Nothing too major, but I mean that's something. I mean, shit.
That's because people like wrestling and people like seeing stuff. So there you go.
There you go. That's what happens, man. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, I think I mean, D plus. Would you say C plus?
C minus.
Yeah, so I mean, we're close. I mean, you're barely a little bit more. And probably the only reason you're giving a little is because you saw some ass and titties. Maybe that's why you're like, oh no, it was a C minus.
Also, I'm more generous with it, without a doubt. I'm a little bit more biased. So there you go. But I do want to give you a chance to promote yourself. Where can people find you, bother you, hit you up?
YouTube, Bob's Product. Like I said, everything I do is separate. So if you want to find me, if you like what I do, the streaming, I do that on YouTube. Anything else, you'll find me. If you like it, you'll keep looking. I wanna be like a hide and seek game. Like, I don't give everything all at once. You're all like pop anime this, pop anime that. Smart guy, this dude fucking figured it out. Pop anime dot, like, everything is the same. Like, I'm looking at your shit. Like, everything is perfectly in line, bro. Like, I feel like
it is what it is. It took me a long time to figure it out. Obviously, I am in sort of an umbrella company, and I am Pop Anime Comics on all my social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Because if I'm going to promote myself, I want everything to be easily findable on eBay. I am Pop Anime Comics Collectibles. My website is Pop Anime Comics. I have other things under the Pop Anime Comics banner, and
what's your interview like? Your regular guests where you do interviews, is it under the Conversations and Pop Culture and everything? Is it under the?
It's under Pop Anime Comics, also Conversations in Pop Culture. So obviously, Conversations in Pop Culture is the name of the show, but it's under the Pop Anime Comics banner.
But
And
I'm the best person he hangs out with on this shit, dude. Just so y'all know. I mean, don't tell anybody else, guys. Don't tell, like this is the best thing.
you're the best public person I hang out with for sure.
That's hurts my feelings somehow. You're the best of the one people I hang out with for sure, man.
I said the best public say, you know. I mean, look, we all have our dream interviews, right? We all have our dream interviews. I've gotten the ability to check off out of my top 30 about 2 of them, which is really cool. And I'm hoping I get closer to my 30 number in the next 10 years. If I do get my 30, I'm probably done as an interviewer.
Do I have one big thing that I'd love to get done somehow, some way. I'd love to even get 2 minutes with David Spade, because there's a Saturday Night Live sketch, him, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, and he has the SS lightning bolts from Nazi right here on his shit. And it's a sketch about like heavy metal music and like rocker music of the 90s. So I'd like to know, are they playing a joke on us? Was somebody playing a joke on him? Or do they think the Nazi SS symbol means heavy metal? That's like, that just sticks in my head. So if I ever get a chance to ask David Spade, I want to know, what were y'all thinking for that symbol right there? And I'm sure maybe something else will pop up, but at the moment, I can't get that out of my head. I can't get it.
Honestly, I don't know how many interviews you do, but when you get time with people who are quote unquote the people you've been watching or engaging with or seeing on TV or wrestling, wherever else you're watching them, it is a very cool thing when you get somebody for 45 minutes or an hour. And it is a very humbling experience. And I recommend everybody try to do at least 1 or 2 interviews in your lifetime and put real effort into it. Because when you get somebody you idolize, and I don't mean to say that idols are not great, but when you get somebody you idolize, it is very cool when you have their undivided attention, even for an hour. And it's very cool when that happens.
I haven't done as many interviews as you. I've done 4, including you. I think 4 or 5, including you. But I have this one guy. He's actually an ex-professional wrestler. He was never in like the WWE, but him and his tag team partner, I think they're called Big and Funky. He actually did he does a couple movies called The Hike. I'm gonna send you their link. I'm gonna try. I'd like for me and you to interview him, because I think he kind of like, he has the same kind of sentimentality that me and you have. So I'm gonna send you that shit. But we gotta get this A-Team shit out the way first. But the only thing is, we might have to do it on a different night, because he does a Friday night YouTube show. Like I think it's called, it's something about Ataris. Like I don't want to misquote the name of his show. But I think it'd be a good time, like me and you interview him together on our little Friday night hangout shit sometime.
I'm down to move it to a Saturday.
All right, cool. Well, I know you ain't got nothing better going on. No, I'm fucking with you, dude. All right, Mecca. We'll talk to you next week. I hope nothing happens this week in wrestling. Let's watch some A-Team, and I'm gonna blow your mind. Like I can't wait for you to watch it. You're gonna come back at me like, oh my god, it was so bad, it was great, Keenan.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
No, but I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, oh my god, that was a terrible. Like, how could they fuck this movie up so bad? But it was like, you could see a glimmer. Like there's a movie in there, but it just, all the hands got messing with it. And so, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait to talk to you about it.
Oh my! You're gonna go buy it for like $20. It'll be well worth it, won't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty. I think I just saw it somewhere. I think it was on Hulu or something. I just watched it. So I saw it, I was like, I'm watching that.
This is my question: should I drink while I'm watching it, or should I just embrace it completely sober, and then should I drink when I'm completely with you?
I say drink. Try drinking while you're watching it, and I put money on that you'd watch it again. You're gonna be like, I'm telling you, yeah, drink while you're watching it. I'd like to see if you watch it a second time. Tell me that. Be like, yeah, man, I got drunk and I watched it and I enjoyed it, and it made me want to watch it a second time to where I could like enjoy it sober. I'm telling you, bro. And if you don't, If you don't, you don't. But that'll be a fun little test subject on it too. I'm excited. I'm excited.
But yeah, that's what we're doing next week, everybody. We're probably gonna do it at like 10:15 because I have to sell some comics before, and I am doing my whatnot. And I'm Pop Anime Comics on whatnot as well. I think I am. I'm actually looking up what I am on whatnot. For everybody who wants to do what I do on whatnot. I got some cool books coming, everybody. And I have this book in my possession. I have all of those in olive foil. So the only place to get it is whatnot or my eBay store, which you will pay more for. And then this is my nice little link here. So look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay. Use that URL if you want to buy comics from me. What else do I have? I didn't see anything, so these cards I'm selling, they're kind of hard to see. They are somewhat invisible. They're coming on the Monday. They're coming on Monday, everybody. So
Hey, dude, when you said they're kind of like when you put those cards up, you said every time they're kind of hard to see. When you put them up like the full screen, I could see them very well just from my end. I don't know how everybody else can see.
the joke is that so for the I mean
Oh, okay. You're talking about that one card with the guy had his face.
it's John Cena. He's invisible. That's the joke.
Well, motherfucker, I don't like it. You can't see me. Like I don't. It looked like what's that fucking game that my kid played in the 2000s? Borderlands. It looks like the guy from fucking Borderlands. That's what it reminds me of when I looked at it.
What it is that Leaf Metal did a John Cena card, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, they did a John Cena card. I need to have those in my store because it's John Cena who's the GOAT in WWE, more so than anybody else. The guy is WWE. He is synonymous with that brand.
John Cena's bald spot is the GOAT of WWE. I love that bald spot the most.
Maybe. But I am letting everybody know what my whatnot is. As soon as I find it. Yeah, I am Pop Anime Comics on whatnot, everybody, and I am doing my first show. And the amount of comics that I'm going to have is going to be wild. And right now, you can actually go, and I think you can actually see what I'm selling. So come find me on whatnot, everybody. I am Pop Anime Comics on whatnot, and
he's Pop Anime Comics everywhere. Everywhere you could think of, it's Pop.
I'm going to give everybody a preview that we are going with an artist heavily with Shikari. We are doing some Taylor Swift. We got a little My Hero Academia. And I got a few surprises. That people might be like, oh, this is interesting. And you know what it is? I'm going to try to keep my prices as reasonable as possible. But I got some serious expensive books. And some of them are 25 to 45% off. So if you're looking for Shikari, Supergirl, Taylor Swift, that book trades for 125, 150. I'm starting it off for 100. So if you want to snag a great book, you might want to snag that book on my whatnot. So, and if nothing sells, that's cool too, guys. That's cool too. I'm super excited, but again,
he said if nothing sells, he's gonna send them my way for charity purposes, because then he can write it off for tax purposes to where he doesn't. You know, you wanna make you can't just let this shit go.
Oh no, I'm not worrying about it. I mean, it's in my eBay.
I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you. I know.
Eventually, if I want
to, I gotta come with the fucking jokes. You can't be serious for 20 minutes on a live stream with me. I have to throw a joke out there somewhere, man. Shit.
Mm.
You're like, come to my eBay store. Come Pop Anime Comics. No, I'm not. I gotta fuck it up, man.
It's all right.
Why can't if that card like if like it does it like have that thing where you if you twist it the hand kind of moves a little bit?
It doesn't. That'd be dope if it did though.
It would. I'd pay for that bitch if it moved a little bit, just slightly, just a little slight. What are those called? Holograms? Is that what it's called when it slightly moves?
So it looks like this. So this is what a leaf metal looks like. So this is Roger Clemens. But yeah, it's not lenticular.
That's what it's called. That's motherfucker. I knew you would know the actual name of it.
Next week I have a lenticular, and I'll show you what a lenticular looks like. They're awesome. They're fantastic and they're amazing.
You can't see me.
That's a smart idea. That's a really smart idea, actually. That's what WWE should do. They sell so many of them too, which is crazy. But I digress. I'm gonna give you the final word though.
I digress. That's the final word. That's how we got to end it. I digress. Boom. Done. No more show. I digress. Motherfucker, don't now you digress. Like that's not. We just lost every viewer ever because you just let me throw this up right. You could have just ended it cool on I digress, but no, no. Okay, cool. Or you could like I digress, and then that just sticks up there for like another 20 minutes. That'd be hilarious. Like we just leave, and 20 minutes later, just still. I digress.
This is my favorite photo of all time. This is my favorite
digress.
photo because this is the question I asked everybody. Are you terrified? So this is the question. So this is this photo. Are you looking at her tits? Are you looking at her eyes? Or are you saying, I don't care if she's coming at me?
Does she have eyes? I didn't even like, yeah, but like the boobies are the first thing. Like, I didn't look at the eyes till you said something about her eyes. Real talk. I don't think I even noticed that she had a head until you said something.
I don't know.
Real
If
talk.
she knocked on my door looking like that, Cubby Thompson, I'm not too sure how I would respond.
You know how many more, like, put the card back up. Put the card back up.
Her.
Put her up. No, her. Whatever that. Put that up. Whatever that was. This is how. Look. This is how we should scoot over to your like. You need to scoot over to your side. This is how we ought to do our podcast from now. Boom. Why even bullshit? Like, let's just talk about WWE, and that's like nobody gives two craps about. Like, this is how you get views, dude. Look, we can back up and go boop boop boop, like back and forth. That's how you get views. Like screw just talking. This is how you get views. Nobody, and they don't. We can even hide. Like nobody even needs to see us. Who cares? Like, oh, Keenan and Mecca are talking. We gotta see their faces. Like I am completely. I'm almost positive that most of my fans are premium members and just listen to me off in the background somewhere.
I love Cubby Thompson. I love her. She's great. I would kill to interview her.
Is that her name? Like, did you literally like? I don't get. It doesn't matter what your name is. Like, it doesn't matter.
I want to know who people are. I want to know their name because
I'm talking about like from. Yeah, I know you want to know, but I'm saying it doesn't like that was my callback to The Rock. It doesn't matter what your name is. But yeah, I mean, no dude was thinking like, "Ooh, what's her name? How can I?" I don't even think I'd need. I know dudes need her name to look up, but I probably wouldn't even. I didn't even think about her name. I promise you that. Like, I didn't think about her face or her name at all. It did not. Neither of those things popped in my head until you said that shit.
She's got great tits. She's got some serious cool tattoos, and all I know is that she's.
I got cool tattoos and some tits too, but that does not work out the same, bro. So cool tattoos and tits aren't the end all be all for everybody. I'll tell you that right now.
So many things I could say.
All right, well, look, we got to. I digress. I gotta get going. Some of us gotta go to sleep, and I'm trying to save Mecca from getting too drunk and getting us in trouble tonight. I don't know if you saw last week, but it got kind of dicey at the last 20 minutes of last week's show there was just nothing. Like the whole thing was like I digress. The last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes of last week's show was just like I digress. That's what the entire show was. I digress.
I was much better this week, I promise.
It wasn't even about like, no, it wasn't even about like, but we just like all went off the rails last week. Just like the last 20 minutes of that show were just completely off the rails. That's why I tried to write some shit down and stick more to what more than what was written down. Well, Braun Breaker, WWE. I mean, that was Elimination Chamber, all the matches. Like I got it out there. We got it done.
Well, we're gonna end in about a minute, but I do want to remind everybody that obviously next week we're gonna be talking about the A team. unless something major happens in wrestling. We'll touch upon that for the first 20 minutes, and then
Yeah, we can still talk
I don't
about
think anything's
wrestling
gonna
for a few
happen.
minutes. Yeah. But I promise nothing. We're the second week after Elimination Chamber, and what, 3 weeks from WrestleMania?
The next big thing that's going to happen in wrestling is the week before Mania. Something big is going to happen that's going to set up the last 4 matches that matter or anything like that. And then we're going to talk about that. And then we'll watch Mania and then we'll talk about WrestleMania. But we'll probably, maybe we'll do the Friday before Mania and then we'll follow up with that Friday after, because I don't feel like recapping Mania that Saturday or Sunday.
No, that's a hard sell, and I need some time to digest it. Like, we don't want to, like, when we didn't, we always do the week after. We always, like, this is last
I'm
week tonight.
I'm not interested in breaking down WrestleMania like 20 minutes after it dropped 2 nights in a row. It's too much. I'd
No.
rather break it down in one setting. But again, that's just what I want to do. And this is a collaborative show. It's not my show. It's our show. Because it's on both of our networks.
I want to
So
be able to listen to Jim Cornette and steal everything he talks about before our show. That's basically what I do. Just whatever Jim Cornette talks about, I'm like, boom, I got to hit on this. I got to hit on that. I don't want to disappoint the old people fans.
fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, I'm going to be peacing out. Obviously, thank you for coming on. And we're going to be peacing out, everybody. And obviously, I absolutely enjoy comments. And
Digress. I digress.
Yeah,
How do you say digress in simple Chinese?
There we go. There we go. And that, everybody, is a wrap.
Peace.